I see them.
That way you can see the chat as it comes up.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Live from the Screwball Whiskey Studios, ladies and gentlemen. You care to try a little bit of Screwball Whiskey?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll try some Screwball Whiskey.
Joey Bellamy's the only other person that's taking a sip out of it, so feel free to...
Yeah.
Just take a chug.
Joey sipped out of it. I definitely want to.
Hey, yep.
Ooh, like that's...
Speaking of which, before I go further with this, right?
Wow.
That's the same thing everybody says. Everybody is like, wow.
That's ridiculous.
You know what I really want to do is I want to take a shot of it and like just spit it out, but I don't trust myself to do that. You know.
Does Brian do that?
Brian does that with beers.
Yeah,
he does that with beers. Not with liquor though, because liquor can kind of get into your bloodstream from just.
That's true.
You know.
Where am I putting this? You putting it up front and center?
Yeah. Next to the Smitty's Hank Williams he painted me. See? It's nice, huh?
Kind of looks like if Barack Obama dressed up like a gay cowboy.
Yeah. I'm so lonesome, I could cry. Yeah, I'm very lonesome.
You can do his cadence, and you don't have to do a good job of doing his voice.
Yeah, you can get
cadence down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you know how the words are supposed to come out, you can say them properly like that, and it works. Just like America. America works.
Let's get America back to work.
Oh, man.
Cadence.
Oh, you know what I didn't do? I haven't just now. Apologies on that.
Oops.
So, as a matter of fact, before we...
I muted my thing over here, although I think maybe the sound is muted anyway.
Before we go that any farther, I mean... Stop me, little boy!
What was that?
I mean, you can't go further without any Stifler. Yeah, my apologies. I'll have to.
Suck me beautiful. That's
I'll have to.
I heard it now.
I'll have to go back and cut that first part out. Sorry if you guys didn't make it through the first couple of minutes of it,
because it was
the audio
gold.
Wasn't good. I know the audio wasn't great for that part. But anyway, let me see here. We haven't spoiled anything yet. Just so you know, right now there will be Avengers Endgame spoilers coming in minutes. So just you have a little bit of time because I have a little editing to do to this video.
Yeah, and I think we can actually probably start off with just how impressive it was.
Yes.
How you should see it if you like Marvel movies at all. I don't think where we live here, it wasn't too difficult to get tickets. And there were showings every 30 fucking minutes.
Dude.
And it made $1.25 billion in its opening week, 4 days.
Pratt did the math. And he was like, that means that over, like, it would at $12 a ticket. I can't remember the number that he did, but he averaged it out at $12 a ticket. And I call him Pratt like he's my boy. Like he's my buddy.
Pratt.
What's up, Pratt?
What up? He's been on the show.
Yeah. Number 129 episodes we're in. Now, I've figured out in 127 episodes to cut that light off.
I look pretty as hell.
I mean, you know, I want to say that I do too, but I'm sure I got a fucking grease spot in the middle of my back from this thing that's fucking bleeding. Okay. And no, you look nice, Patrick. Always.
How is that thing? Is that the same thing on your back?
Yeah,
it kind of those come back sometimes. It's not great.
Yeah, sometimes they come back again.
Back also,
dude. All right. Let's see. The Avengers Endgame. I already did this once, and I don't know why I have to do it again.
Back to back to back to back to back.
Endgame spoilers talk. Yes, I wanted to be very clear that there are spoilers involved in this, and we're not talking about like, like spoilers on the back of your car, like if you got a nice Mustang or something like that. Or,
it's my second favorite kind of spoiler.
The first favorite kind of spoiler is dessert.
Mm-hmm. I love spoiling my appetite.
I mean,
see, that's the thing. Spoiling your appetite's not a bad thing.
Not at all.
But we're also going to talk a little bit about this article I read, and I'll get Kelsey to link it in the chat or the description, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Man, I need to just bring it up here.
And we're going to be getting to some audio content here just in a second, guys. Just to give me some more minutes. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and copy all of my links from the other thing.
Yeah, I love that. Love that article from 1976.
Yes. Actually, while I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and roll audio.
Okay.
And you tell that story that you were telling me before we got started. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. I'll get you there.
All right.
So, Brother Patrick Hanna in the house. Talking about spoilers, ladies and gentlemen. Spoilers. There are spoilers in this episode.
And this isn't a specific Marvel Comics spoiler, so don't worry. It's not related to the movie so much. It's a article by Todd Vanderwerf on Vox about the code of conduct for spoilers, and that is something that Kelsey was actually wondering about.
Yeah, actually, that was the first thing I asked you whenever, because you know comic books better than I do.
Yep, and Kelsey was wondering, what can we do an episode on this that soon? What's the deal? And, I think after the movie's out for a couple of days, especially in this day and age where information is so readily available.
Yes.
As long as you're conscientious about the fact that someone might click on your stuff and read a spoiler, as long as you put lots of
warnings,
and everything else, you're fine.
That's what I'm thinking.
So, anyway, I came across this piece, like I said, what was it? Todd Vanderwerf on Vox.com. And one of the funnier stories about this, which this would never happen today, but there's an article called From American Graffiti to Outer Space, and it came out in September 12, 1976. It's an article basically about George Lucas and whether he should have retired right after.
Yeah, for those of you not familiar, he's the guy that was president after Lincoln.
Yep, and that big beard.
Yeah,
and the drinking problem. Two after Lincoln.
Yeah,
he was a famous general in the Civil War. So anyway. Lucas is at this conference, and he basically lays out the plot of Star Wars about 7-8 months before this movie comes out.
Lucas does himself?
Yes.
Okay.
And this person relays it in this article. Once upon a time, in a future time, although it is in a galaxy far, far away and a long, long time ago.
It was a long, long time ago.
Luke Skywalker shares a desert planet with two amiable robots and Alec Guinness as Kenobi, a benevolent blend of the wizard Merlin and a samurai warrior. Their planet has been annexed by a wicked emperor whose local viceroy, Governor Tarkin, has captured the beautiful Princess Leia, leader of the resistance forces. Determined to rescue the princess, Kenobi and Luke set out for the rebel stronghold on the battered old spaceship of Han Solo, a no-good hotshot pirate with a heart of gold. And his first Chewbacca is a Wookiee. This part's cut out, and it's a digitized version of it.
Yeah.
But Lucas is explaining that his first mate is a Wookiee named Chewbacca, and that Wookiees are a cross between a large bear, a dog, and a monkey.
Well, I've never known that.
Inevitably, the adventurers all fall foul of Governor Tarkin and his Death Star, a huge space station on which the princess is imprisoned. And just as inevitably, it all comes right in the last reel. The Emperor's secret weapon is destroyed, the princess is rescued, and the forces of evil are routed in a final spaceship dogfight conducted along World War II lines. The sinister Black Knight is allowed to slink away, however, and scheme to begin another day, thereby keeping the door open for a possible sequel. So, he lays out the entire plot of this fucking movie, just like months and months before it comes out. And you know, if someone did that today with Star Wars, if someone right now, for this Christmas release of the new movies, like, Rey is gonna battle, lays out all the characters, and then eventually she kills them all in the end, and happy ending, and Luke Skywalker comes back to life with Yoda.
So how about we don't need to watch it now?
Yeah. And so,
hence what you were saying, that it wasn't a big
deal back then. You would still say, "Oh, well, that sounds pretty fun. I'll go watch it." And I think that the stuff started getting real bad around when The Sixth Sense comes out.
Yeah.
So The Sixth Sense, if you don't know, if you haven't seen it.
Wow, I never really thought about that, but that was the first one that was like a real shit kicker.
Yeah, well, and if you go into that movie and
I'm listening to you, by the way.
I know. If you go into that movie and you know the ending, it kind of ruins the movie.
Sorry.
Am I a little loud?
No.
Okay,
I just didn't know I had the audio up.
If you go into Sixth Sense and you know the end of it, it kind of ruins the movie. But if you know this, basically what I'm going to get into is like the spoilers for Marvel Endgame or Avengers Endgame. It's not like it's anything crazy like The Sixth Sense. The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
One of the people, it's a twist ending. It's crazy, and it does make you rethink everything in the movie. So saying that something happens, like one of the actors that you know is not going to do any more of these Avengers movies dies or something, is not a crazy thing. Or, you know, I think a lot of people knew beforehand stuff that was going to happen. I think also a lot of that Severus Snape stuff, people were yelling at people getting the book, what happened. That's pretty crappy too. I mean, I'm not trying to legitimize people who spoil stuff for people, but it has taken on like a new whole life of its own. The spoiler warnings, got the Google trend thing for spoiler must be so big from...
What's the word for that?
I think they have word
flavored
trends.
water.
Oh, not yet.
Oh, I was like, shit, this stuff does that to me.
Yeah, it does it for me too. Whoa, I love that noise too. So...
But yeah,
anyway,
sorry, I've been like over here
it's okay.
getting stuff like that.
And I hope everyone hasn't gotten bored of me talking about the history of fucking spoilers. But
I thought that was interesting. Like I find it very interesting that this is 100%. And like I said earlier, that this is the first time that this much information has been available.
It's so easy. If you want to know what happens, you can. People leaked footage of this online. Yeah. And then trolls will go and put it in threads and just ruin stuff.
Oh, hey.
Is that me?
Is it a phone? Is your
Oh, you know what? Could be.
Tell you what, are you on the Wi-Fi here?
Hey, what up? Yeah, I am.
Might need to... Yeah, that's it.
I wonder why I started doing it just now.
I don't know. Let's maybe you got a text or something.
I got off the Wi-Fi.
Oh, was it the Wi-Fi? Huh. It's usually the like the.
But it was probably just getting an update.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'll put it over there though. I'm not using it. No one's texting me
live. Oh man, come on, man.
The only person I'm getting texts from is Kelsey.
Hey, man, I
Not like that's a bad thing.
No. I have been watching Game of Thrones all day yesterday, and I was like, dude, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I finally get it. Like, I started watching it yesterday. I know we know that there's no Game of Thrones spoilers for you, unless you want, but I mean.
No, I wouldn't want to spoil it for you.
Thank you.
You'd need to ask me. I'd need to get consent.
Yeah, of course. As with anything, you know. All right, now once I do this right here, I will be done sharing everything out, and I can go ahead and close out of Facebook. And now I've got YouTube here, so I can see chat over in the corner here. We've got audio rolling. All right, so I had a panic attack on the way to the theater Friday night, they had a midnight showing at Coastal Grand Mall.
Oh, okay.
And I had a panic attack. Like, I was losing my shit, dude. Like, how you like that strawberry water? Excuse me. Forgive me, guys. And I couldn't deal with it. I pulled into the parking lot and just saw a lot of cars and just like overwhelmed. And
It's too much.
It's too much.
We had a busy day in the office Friday morning, and it was something that didn't involve me, but it was going to take up my office space instead of mediation or whatever. So I was like, well, I got kind of a light schedule. There's nothing pressing I got to get done today. A lot of the stuff that I was waiting on is out of my hands. So I was like, let's go see it at 10:30 in the morning on Friday. Who the hell is going to be at the damn theater then? Packed. It was kind of packed. I was surprised.
Now, I had it scoped out in my mind, because every time I go to the movies, I pick the same chairs. And they're the little handicap chairs at the front.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to sit next to you. They're the two chairs that are by themselves, and like they're pretty far apart. So if somebody does sit next to me, it's like it's only going to be one person.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had the biggest panic attack I've had in a long time, and I had this thought leading up to it, to where I was like, you can pretend to be a normal human for long enough to sit in this theater and watch this movie.
I don't know, man. It's 3 hours and 1 minute also.
Yeah.
That's well, I had,
I had that thought. Like, I'm telling myself, I'm talking to myself in my head.
Yeah.
You can be a normal human for just a little while. And that totally didn't fly. So I grabbed my phone and started recording. And I was like, I just had the craziest thought ever. And I recorded myself, and I drove up. I came around the corner of the mall. I turned at the Burger King. I passed the Sticky Fingers, and as soon as I cut the corner, I just saw the extra parking lot there that was just full of cars, and I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And I busted a U-turn. There was somebody behind me, almost ran into me when I was just like getting out of there. And it was absolutely terrifying, and I left. I had to get out of there. I pushed through it and watched it on Saturday.
Yeah.
But, dude, I don't know that I've ever had more emotions watching a comic book movie. And I know that sounds very condescending, the way that I say comic book movie, but
it is a comic book movie. The premise is absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
It's a comic book movie. It is a bunch of superheroes flying around.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's a guy who has spider powers or a god of lightning or a talking raccoon.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous premise.
Yes, it is.
And you also throw in like two pretty normal people, Hawkeye and like Black Widow, who are somehow in the same like realm.
What the fuck are you people? Okay, I'm in, I guess.
I just found in this fucking article so long, but he's got 3 rules of code of conduct for spoilers.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to list them out real quick.
Okay.
Number 1 is never, ever, ever spoil something for someone intentionally. That makes you a dick.
Very true.
Fair. Number 2, the closer you are to the initial release of something, the more incumbent it is on the one who could spoil it to issue some sort of a spoiler warning, whether that's, hey, have you seen this yet, or putting caution spoilers on your video or article.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Number 3, if you get accidentally spoiled through someone not being dick, and especially if the thing you have been spoiled on has been out for longer than a week or a month for TV shows. A week for movies and a month for TV shows. Accept that it's on you, and don't get mad at them if they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Don't get so upset over it. It's a fucking movie or a TV show at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. I have had this conversation in public. I was down at Tito's a while ago, and somebody walked in that had seen it, and we were like, so good. Like, that's all you can say, because like
you don't know who around you, and that's being nice about it.
Yeah.
And then once it's out for a while, and you start talking about it.
Yeah. Well, see, what's funny is those who have seen it. When I knew you had seen it, when I text you, I was like, the one thing that I told you got me the most. You knew exactly what I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
And that one's, and it's like just something that's so specific that people would know. So before we go further, I again want to reiterate there are about to be spoilers for Endgame. Like, if you don't want to have this movie spoiled for you, then I suggest you pause this episode for a later date.
Yeah, and not just Endgame, but also Infinity War.
Which has
been out for a year, so that one's definitely on you.
And another thing too is, don't just go watch this movie because it's the hit movie right now. Watch all the other ones. Like, you have to get the whole. There's so much that. Like, I feel like, even what I was telling you earlier, that I hadn't seen Captain Marvel yet. Mm-hmm. But every single movie that has every like, I don't know, you need all of them.
They add on to the meaningfulness.
Yes. Yes.
At the least, watch every Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Including Civil War, Captain America: Civil War,
the first Avenger.
Yeah.
I would watch that one too.
Yeah. What I mean, the bare minimum though: Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah,
because that's basically an Avengers movie, and then the Infinity War movies. You could get away with that.
Yeah, you could. But you know what?
Also, the Guardians of the Galaxy, because you'll just be confused about
that's right.
all those characters, and they're just funny whether you're like comic books or
dude. They
sci-fi.
Were like. That was different. I was really glad that they blended that together, because that seemed like that could have been a universe all on its own, like without the Marvel world. And I know that they still exist within that universe, but dude, that was very strong by itself.
And I'm really happy with the turn that Thor made in Ragnarok. Just because I think, and someone else said this, and I was watching something. I think some of the Red Letter Media guys, someone said, I think after filming movies with Chris Hemsworth? Or is that the other brother?
Yeah, well, Liam and Chris, I don't know.
It's Chris.
Chris, yeah.
Liam's the one who's in Hunger Games, right?
I never saw that, so I don't know.
I think he's PETA. Anyway.
PETA.
So, after they had filmed a couple of movies with Chris Hemsworth, they realized this guy's fucking funny. Like, he's got good comedic timing.
Oh, yeah, he does.
And let's do a different turn. And Ragnarok is by far my favorite Thor movie, and it's one of my favorite Marvel movies. It's up there with the Guardians of the Galaxy ones for me, too, because it's kind of retro, silly. Jeff Goldblum is fucking hilarious.
Jeff Goldblum, where was he?
Did you watch Thor Ragnarok?
Oh, I've seen all of them.
Oh,
yeah,
he's like the main bad guy. He's like the collector guy, or not the collector, but he's like.
You don't need to watch that again. I was kind of sped through those. Like, okay. I've really watched them fast just to catch up.
Yeah, he makes Thor and Hulk fight. He's like the gladiator.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And he keeps them locked. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's
she
like
brings
the
him
leader,
food and something.
the deer leader or whatever he is. Yeah.
Hulk smash.
Yeah, and Hulk's funny in that because Yeah, like the password to the ship is like strongest Avenger, but that's for Hulk.
Yeah.
And Point Break is for is for Thor because of this thing that Tony Stark said to him like 3 movies prior that you wouldn't catch. 'Cause
Yeah.
he looks like
The guy from Point
the
Break.
guy from Point Break. Exactly. And then in this movie, here comes the spoilers.
Okay, spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead. We'll give you a second.
I have to say, as a big guy, I could have jumped. Could have stood up in the middle of this theater and clapped
Yeah.
when I saw Thor.
That shit was so funny. I mean, I was cracking.
God, it was so good. Y'all, Thor got fat.
He got so fat.
It looks like it's real, too.
Yeah. They did a good job with it. Whether it's a bodysuit and some CGI.
Dude, it looked so fucking real. It looked as real as from It's Always Sunny looked when he came back.
Yep.
It really looked like that.
Because he actually did gain 50 pounds.
Yeah.
I actually read, something came up on YouTube, and he talked about how he ate 5,000 calories a day. So he gained about 50 pounds. And he's just talking to the doctor about, like, maybe putting on some more pounds. And the doctor's like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
So Chris Hemsworth, fat, not like hugely.
Yeah, it's just if imagine Chris Hemsworth being fat.
Yeah, but strong.
He's Thor. He's the god of thunder still. Oh, I'm still worthy.
You know, it kind of reminded me of like a less fat Honda from Street Fighter 2.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah,
I'll give you that. He's got all the muscles.
Yeah,
and it almost looks like he has one huge ab muscle.
Yeah, it really does. It looks like just a pot belly.
Yeah, it's just like he even kind of has a split in the middle because it's like, well, yeah, he's overweight, but he's a fucking god of thunder. So
here's the thing: the funniest part of this is that, and I know that we've skipped over a few parts, but we're not. It's not like we're doing this.
Yeah, we're not gonna. No, just
but dude, you walk in, spoilers, you walk in and you see Thor with these 2 alien motherfuckers playing video games, and this 11-year-old is like picking on one of the guys, so Thor grabs the
headset and starts yelling at him.
I'm the god of thunder.
I will come over there and I will put the controller up your butt.
Yes. He doesn't they never say what you want him to say.
Yeah. And then he's like, thanks, Thor.
Yeah.
I love that dude.
Thanks, Thor.
The guy who does that voice, he's the one who directed Ragnarok.
Okay.
Yeah, Korg. He's the rock monster from Ragnarok. Funny, fucking, I don't know. All his lines in that movie crack me up. And it's the guy who does What We Do in the Shadows. And
I've heard of that, but I'm not.
Yeah. A couple of other, he does a lot of stuff with the Flight of the Conchords people.
Oh, those guys are great.
Yeah, they're all just funny guys from New Zealand that are super famous now. So
good for them.
Yeah, it's either New Zealand or South Africa. I can't tell those dum-dums apart.
These dum-dums, those apartheids. Let's throw an apartheid.
Yeah. So Thor's been depressed
and drinking.
He's
drunk through the whole fucking thing, guys. Yeah. Spoilers.
The only way they get him to come rescue people with him is to tell them that there's beer on the ship because he's out of beer.
What does he say?
What kind of beer? Yeah, Rocket gets it. Rocket Raccoon's like, I know this. I think he calls him. He looks like melted ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Like, he's the first one that brings it up. Like, nobody says anything until, like, Rocket's like, dude, the fuck?
Yeah, what happened to you? And he got depressed, just sat at home and played video games for 5 years and got fat.
Yeah.
I feel it. That's happened to me.
That is how it happened. But the reason...
Yeah, he's upset because... Well, Thanos snapped his fingers in the previous movie, wiped out half of all the universe's living creatures, and they find him right at the beginning of the movie, and he doesn't have the Infinity Stones anymore, and Thor gets so mad he cuts his head off and kills him.
Yep.
Right there.
Yeah, first 5 minutes of the movie, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
Yep, 10, 15 minutes of the movie. And this is a 3-hour movie. So, I mean, this is early stages of the movie. And then it basically, like, cuts to 5 years later.
Yeah.
And that's when Paul Rudd shows up, who is, I feel like everyone's, like, watch it through his eyes almost movie. And I love those movies, too. All the Ant-Man movies are great. And
he's great.
Yeah, Paul Rudd just generally great. I love him. Have loved him since Clueless.
And he seems to be the same age that he was when he was dating Phoebe.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's 50 years old this year, I think, and it's everyone hates it because he doesn't
speaking
look
of
any older.
Speaking of which, it was so odd to see spoilers, his daughter.
Yes,
like leaning on his lap and like, dude, y'all look the same age, bro.
Yeah, that was kind of weird because
his daughter looks so much younger.
In the Ant-Man movie, she seems really young, like she's 8.
Yeah, this is supposed to be like only 5 years later,
but like maybe she's 10 or 12. I mean, you can look older. I don't know how old she is in the movies, but she's noticeably older because he's been gone for 5 years. Yeah. Although he felt like it was only 5 hours. And because he got pushed into the quantum realm and then tried to come out when he came back out of the quantum realm because, like, I think a rat walked across the controller in the van or something.
Yeah, I think they want you to believe that that's what happened.
Yeah. See, it's a ridiculous comic book movie.
Yep.
So he comes back and he shows up at the Avengers compound, and he's
hey guys, it's me. You remember we met at that thing?
Yeah. He's like, we met at the airport.
Yeah.
And he's just like everyone's embodiment of like what you would do in that situation. You're the everyman.
He's the everyman.
He's always like dumbfounded when he's talking to all the superheroes. Like,
yeah. So is he ready to eat that sandwich? I'm starving. It's so good.
He's really good in that.
But him going to the quantum realm and figuring out that 5 years had passed on Earth, but only 5 hours had passed in the quantum realm gave him an idea.
Yeah, because he does come back the exact same age. Mm-hmm. Everyone else is 5 years old. Like, he goes to his house, and his daughter's there, and she's super old, and they hug, and it's a nice moment.
I thought it was his wife. I swear to God, I didn't pick up on it until halfway through the hug. Oh, this is his daughter. Oh, shit.
Yeah, because his wife is
the ex-wife or whatever.
The ex-wife, blonde from a couple of different things. I think she's in Arrested Development and some other stuff, but much older lady. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, shit, that's his daughter. Because I was thinking the same thing. Maybe he went to his ex-wife's house. Yeah. But then I was like, oh, no, I guess it's his daughter. Weird. She's older. I don't like it.
Yeah, me neither. I was like really creeped out by that.
But
it's also the kid wouldn't speak to him on the bike. He's just like,
yeah, that was kind of weird. And another thing is when he comes back, he's in San Francisco, and I thought it was kind of cool. So it's 5 years later, half the world's population is just turned to dust. When it opens up on the 5 years later, like Captain America's in a support group for people, like trying to help them get through. Just like, hey, yeah, this sucks.
Cap being Cap.
Yep. All heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes they go to support group meetings and help people through the problems. And Ant-Man goes to, there's like a big memorial, and it's got like everyone's fucking names on it that disappeared in the snap. And he finds his own name, but he didn't really disappear in the snap. It was when when stuff got snapped, he got trapped in there. Because what's that actor's name? Michael Douglas?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, so they're all dead, and he doesn't know. He's not a scientist. He's a felon. And so he doesn't really understand. He's just like, I don't know, guys, quantum realm, could it work?
Like, 5 hours. We need somebody who knows quantum.
So they go to Tony Stark, and he kind of figures stuff out. And but he doesn't want to help because he's got this awesome little daughter now. And him and his wife are real happy.
Dude, he killed that role.
Yeah.
That like, the dad, like, that was so good.
Yeah.
So convincing.
I actually wonder if he has a daughter around that age now or what.
He seems so good with that like just the whole like.
But you know what? He is just a really good actor. We'll give him that. Like, he's always been a good actor.
I want to think that he is that cool though. That he just seems. I'm sure he's like everybody else that flies off the handle. But
yeah, well, I mean, he had all those problems, mugshots, drug rehab stuff before.
I've seen him freak out on a reporter or two from asking some stupid questions. But
yeah, and I mean, with that level of scrutiny, it's easy to blow up, I guess. Yeah. I don't know, but Alec Baldwin's a pretty big asshole about stuff like that.
How about this? I haven't even set camera solo shots yet.
Let's see here. Where's my mouse? There it is. Got to reload the page. I wasn't even looking at the chat.
Yeah, we're actually driving the chat right now. I think people are actually listening to the fact that
good deal
to the stay away
spoilers. Yeah, because a lot of people I don't think have actually seen it, which is going to be crazy for the amount of money this movie ends up making.
Oh well, that's what I told. I told my neighbor when I got back. Earlier Saturday.
Was it packed when you went?
Oh, dude! It just thank God for those handicap seats, bro. Like nobody wants them because they're so close to the.
Yeah, a couple of my buddies. That's the only way they could watch it this weekend.
Yeah,
they're going again tonight because my friend thought he was going to be out of town, so he went ahead and got tickets for Monday, like a few weeks ago, and.
I'll watch it again. I'll probably watch it a couple more times before it's done, just because it's that is.
It was so long, I had to take a pee break, and and I missed a little part, which was I think when Thanos was getting the stuff out of Nebula's head, and I was okay. I'm like, all right, I get it.
Figure out what's going to happen from here.
Thanos is coming back. Gotcha. I'm gonna go pee real quick.
So we told you that Thanos had his head chopped off.
Yes.
In the beginning of the movie, but then Thanos is also pulling something out of the back of her head, so we should probably explain how that is possible. So, they after meeting with Tony Stark and figuring out that, or giving Tony Stark all this thing, he's like, totally not like saying I don't want anything to do with this because his awesome family and him and I love Gwyneth Paltrow, by the way. Like
yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah,
and she's a great actress too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought it was weird when all of a sudden she showed up in an Iron Man suit later.
I laughed.
It started kicking ass, and I was just like,
I laughed pretty hard at that.
I was like, okay, sure, why not?
Well, but just because I feel like I'm making something for mommy. What are you doing with that? Like,
she never wears anything she never wears anything I make her, though.
What if? Okay, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to say this later.
Okay,
I'm really trying to remember to say this later. Okay,
I'll remind you.
Yeah,
remind me. 15 minutes
after the big spoiler. That's where it'll come. That's where this question needs to be asked.
Okay.
Anyway. Yes, after they meet with Tony Stark and he denies them, he ends up, he's curious. He's Iron Man. He can't fucking help it.
Yeah, and in the meantime, they do go to the Hulk.
Yeah. Okay, another spoiler. Do you want to take the Hulk?
Yeah. So actually, at a certain point in the comics, like in the movies or any iteration, like the Hulk is a big dumb idiot, and then he changes into scientist Bruce Banner, back and forth.
Yeah.
And that's been the canon in the movies so far. So we come to find out 5 years later, Hulk and Bannon have decided they can just live together as a big, huge, smart green dude who wears clothes that fit.
And he's not that big in this one. He didn't seem. He seemed like much bigger in the other one.
Yeah, I think I think they must have compromised on how big.
Yeah,
like
come on, man. What do we need really?
Yeah,
Hulk smash. Come on, man. I mean, really, do we need that much?
And I really liked later on when he was supposed to smash stuff, and he just kind of like just tap some cars around.
Yeah, like pretty much like a cat walking around and just knocking stuff off the corner of a table. Hulk smash.
Smash.
He's saying everything clearly.
Hulk smash. Yeah, so Hulk is like the second smartest guy,
and he's so nice now. Like
he's like life affirmative. You know, he's like life affirming. Sorry.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to be. Did he say like Hulk smash to someone like after like what were they doing?
They took the picture at the restaurant.
Yeah, a bunch of little kids want to take a picture with him, and
they're like, "Yeah, Hulk smash,
Hulk smash," yeah. And then Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, is taking the picture, and he goes, "I'm Ant-Man. You guys want to take a picture with me?" And they're all looking at him like
the kids are awkwardly like,
"Who are you?"
No, of course they want to take a picture with you.
Yeah, Hulk's just,
man.
That was a funny. And this movie probably had equal parts funny and just really touching moments.
Oh man.
And we haven't hit on a lot of the touching ones because
we haven't gotten to them yet.
They come a lot later.
Yeah. Hey-o. Suck me, beautiful.
Oh, suck me, beautiful.
Suck me, beautiful.
So Hulk is smart enough to kind of figure out the time travel.
Yes.
But in the meantime, Tony's just too interested in the ramifications. So he's, I think he has an epiphany, and then he starts having his computer, which is not named Jarvis anymore. I did not catch what it was named, though.
I didn't know it wasn't named Jarvis. I think Jarvis is specific to his vehicle, correct?
Well, no, I think that he retired it maybe after Ultron. I don't know, because it kind of turned into Vision, maybe.
Oh,
but
yeah. That's right.
But I think it's a female now. But I don't know what the computer's name is. But anyway, it's helping him run all these models. He's like telling it to do this, that, and the other. And wow, I figured out time travel.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. Okay, so you figured out. I didn't quite catch it at first until he explained it to Potts. Like it took me, I don't know how I missed it or whatever, but like I just didn't catch on at that point. And that's that's it. It just I just saw the thing that was coming around. And he was like,
yeah, and he made like a inverted Mobius strip, which just seems like it would be a Mobius strip to me. Like if you inverted a Mobius strip, it seems like it would be a Mobius strip. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. It's common. It's just one line of dialogue and they fix it. But.
Yeah. And they really try not to talk about how it works that much, but they explain it a couple of different little times.
Yeah.
But
they know dummies like me wouldn't get it. So,
but I really liked how they were explaining it at the beginning because it was Paul Rudd and like Rocket Raccoon and Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
All talking about like
who is great.
Yeah, they were like, well, time travel's easy. You can't. No sports betting.
Yeah.
Don't talk to yourself. and the Hulk's like, no, you idiot. Like, it's not how it fucking works.
Like you're already living this life in the future. Yeah. So when you go back, then this is already written. This is how it ends.
And I was just like, whatever. I'm not gonna.
I think they did that for Neil deGrasse Tyson because they know that he is going to say, oh, well, this is...
But basically what they're going to do is they're going to go back in time, take these stones that Thanos used to snap everyone in half, and then unsnap everyone in the future, and then return them right to where they were, thereby not making any... paradoxes or anything, and make one continuous line. So that's the plan, and then the movie goes from like kind of to like an Ocean's 11 time heist. I think multiple times they call it a time heist.
Yeah,
and they only have so much of this particle to time travel with.
Yeah,
the PIM particle. Oh, by the way. The Uber that picked me up to take me to the place, its license plate was PIM 105. I was like, no way.
It's meant to be.
Too good.
It would be even if that were like. It would be even better if that were like the atomic code for it. Like 105 would have been the atomic code for that particle in that universe.
So yeah, they figure out time travel, and then they just got to figure out like where they need to go to get these things and change everything. And that was so fun to watch. They went back to movies that had already been done. They went back to just the very previous movie. They went to the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah.
Where Don Cheadle watches Chris Pratt dancing and singing with the little rats.
Yeah.
And, you know, you hear the Chris Pratt music.
That song's been stuck in my head all day. What's the matter with your head and your mind and your...
If you haven't seen the actual music video or you don't know the group who does that song, Redbone,
please,
just go watch it real quick.
Nothing more American.
It's so weird. I swear, I thought I was a bunch of black guys.
You do not know what.
Just go watch it.
No spoilers there. Yeah, go watch that.
We're gonna spoil the hell out of this movie, but go treat yourself to Redbone.
The head and your mind and your.
And I super love F is for Family's intro every time that comes on. Never skip it. I'm like, yes, go sing this Redbone song again.
You know, every time I've tweeted them, they have liked it.
Nice.
They must have a really bored person on their social media. But anyway.
So basically they're going to go back to the first Avengers movie where they know that Loki has this scepter with the Mind Stone. The Tesseract is there, which is the something else stone.
Yeah.
And Tilda Swinton. Did I say that right? Is that Tilda Swinton?
Right.
Is that her name? I think it
is. Yes.
Tilda Swinton?
Yes.
So Tilda Swinton's from the Doctor Strange
She's so
movie.
badass, dude.
And she's got the Time Stone. That's the one that Doctor Strange has in the first movie.
Yeah.
On the other side of the universe, they've got to go to get the Power Stone from Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, and the Soul Stone from Vormir, which they don't know how you get it.
Yeah.
And they're dumb about it, in my opinion. That's pretty stupid.
Yeah, it's like, we kind of...
We got to send the two lamest people to go get this without any other special protection.
Yeah.
Got it. And then the last stone, maybe it was the Power Stone or the whatever the other stone is. It's in Natalie Portman, and it's at Thor's. It's in Asgard, and so Rocket Raccoon and Thor, Fat Thor, who looks like the Big Lebowski at this point.
Yes, and Iron Man, cool at Lebowski. He's totally walking through with like the sunglasses.
Yeah, he's got
totally
sunglasses.
Like
he's got a fucking robe
sweater,
on. I mean, they're going for that look.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's got a huge fucking beard. He's drinking a beer, and he's just like cool at Lebowski.
Yeah,
and that's what made me think of it was that he looked like the guy from Point Break.
Yeah.
And then he looked like the Big Lebowski.
That might be the new thing to where they just make Thor look like some other 90s pop icon. Or not, pop culture icon.
I wonder what he could do next. And then, they teased Asgardians of the Galaxy after this. Like at the
Asgardians of the Galaxy? That's so good.
That's what he called them at the end.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking about that whole back and forth. Of course you are.
Of course you're in charge.
Of course you are.
You guys should have a knife fight for this. Yes,
knives. Yes, I mean, dude, Bautista is. I mean, who saw that coming?
In these movies, he is one of the funniest. Like
his whole back and forth with that girl was so good in part 2.
I think I probably, and I had a few drinks prior, but I swear to God, every time Drax talked in that movie, I cracked up.
Yeah.
Just like
Perfect timing.
I'm invisible. Can't see me. My movements are imperceptible to the human eye.
No,
Like,
man.
no, man, we can see you. You're eating a chip. Damn it. Or he's like, no, I think that joke went over your head. He goes, that's impossible. I have amazing reflexes. Nothing can get over my head. It's like, no, man, not literally, but that's the best.
Dude, they were all so funny. Like this whole, and then while they're in the middle of other movies, Captain America gets in a big fight
With Captain America.
Who else?
I can go all day.
I know you can. I know you can.
And earlier in the movie, they're watching footage, I think, to kind of scope out the time heist. And
Yeah.
Iron Man's like, Cap, that thing's not doing any favors for your ass. That's it. And Paul Rudd, the fanboy, is like, don't listen to him, Cap. That's America's ass. That's America's ass.
Which explains one of the spoilers without context things that you're seeing. Like it's just a pair of
Yep.
American
Butt cheeks.
Yep.
America's ass.
Yeah.
So good. And after Captain America defeats himself for the Tesseract case, and his looking at his unconscious body, he goes, "That is America's ass." Yeah, that is. Wait, he's getting that. He comes out the door. That's the Mind Stone. The Tesseract
is the thing that
Stark is trying to grab, and
who he ever so
just
conveniently.
so fun because they make Hulk take the stairs. So Hulk is so mad he has to take the stairs. He's like pounding down the stairs, and this is Hulk back in the 2012 Avengers.
Sorry, stairs.
So many stairs.
Yeah, so many stairs.
And so he's pounding down the stairs, and he bursts through the door, and he knocks Iron Man out. The Tesseract goes flying across the floor, and Loki, who they've got all bound up, picks it up and kind of looks around at everyone, and he disappears. And Loki's got his new show coming out on Disney Plus, coming later this year.
You're serious?
Yeah, he's got his own series coming out.
Who is it? Loki?
Yeah, it's the real actor, whatever his name is. Yeah, Loki.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just got his own series. It's gonna be probably fucking great.
That'll be cool.
I just don't want to pay for another streaming service.
You know, I thought about this. Side note, I thought about switching to just YouTube TV.
Yeah, whoever is able to sell all of these new streaming services in a package,
oh, they'll win.
They'll probably win, and it'll probably be Amazon.
Dude, if Amazon wants to like charge an extra $100 or something like that just to get all of the other things,
yeah, add another $50 on top of your Prime subscription or something.
Yeah.
Or
will it be to where they'll all just join forces? They'll all just be like one big conglomerate company.
I hope not, man. I don't think they can. And the thing is, Disney's so big right now. We're talking about this movie that came out over the weekend, made $1.2 billion in 4 days.
Yeah.
It's probably going to make tens of millions of dollars today on a Monday night. And I think it cost $400 million to make with the advertising and everything else. So this company has made what probably is a I don't know, fucking so much money. Like it's probably more than a lot of countries in the world have as a yearly budget.
Oh, I would say.
You know, but this company's doing it.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you're trying to avoid watching something by Disney right now, good luck.
Yeah.
Do you like Star Wars? Sorry, we got that. Do you like The Simpsons? Sorry, that's Disney. You want to watch sport on ESPN? Sorry, that's Disney.
Even further than that, Miramax was owned by Disney in the mid '90s, which means that Pulp Fiction was technically a Disney movie.
Yeah. I believe now Avatar is going to be theirs.
Yeah. You know what, dude? I've got to
get it.
I got a fat, and this belt is cutting into me. How about tell them about?
So he's got to go off stage. I'm just going to talk. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm gonna tell you guys about this new Patrick Hanna podcast that's so much better than the Kelsey Hudgens Merle's Inlet podcast. Featuring Will Hanna. He'll be on this podcast exclusively. Not really. This chat's pretty dead because no one wants these spoilers. I don't know, Kelsey. What do you want me to tell him? So I'm going to keep going through this plot. Tell him about. So we've got Loki. Okay. So they get all these stones back together and they decide on the first tearjerker. Is that really a tear? That didn't bother me. That they got to get the last stone that they get is and I actually was kind of laughing during this. I thought it was kind of funny, but you've got these two kind of depressed people going to get the soul stone, and in the last movie,
that was almost laughable.
It was pretty laughable, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So to get the soul stone, you got to sacrifice something that you really love. And they love each other, but they're not like dating or anything.
They had that weird off, like,
sure, will they, won't they, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But Hawkeye's always had a family that's been a parent. And even though you
plus she had the thing with Hulk.
Yeah.
So that was.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
It's what did she say to him? It's getting dark, big guy, or sun's going down, big guy.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, sun's going down, big guy.
Because Thor kept trying to calm Hulk down in the Ragnarok by saying that to him. It didn't work at all. And he's just tearing up the ship. So anyway, Hawkeye and Black Widow got to figure out who dies to get this soul stone. So they're like,
they
all right.
milked that for everything it was worth, dude. Like, and the weird devil guy.
Yeah, and he's actually from the first Captain America movie. Yeah. That's anyway, he's a famous
Hugo Weaving, right?
Yeah, but the actual villain, he's a pretty
Skeletor.
Red Skeleton?
Something like that. Like they called him the
but he's usually Captain America's like main villain. Like, you know, he's the Fantastic Four's Doctor Doom or Spider-Man's Hobgoblin / Green Goblin. So he's when he took when the Tesseract was blowing up or whatever on the ship that was going down in the first American movie, he got in the thing, and I guess it shot him up to this planet, Boromir, which is the planet of death. So why not send two unarmed people to the planet of death to get the soul stone? And they do it, and one of them's going to die, and they both want to die.
Imagine everybody else in the group knowing how to get it except for them two, and they're like, why don't you two go to this planet and get this? I was like, well, I can help you guys. This shouldn't be too hard. I'll go by myself. Like, no, you're definitely, no, take someone with you.
Yeah.
No, like, how about you go together, both of you guys? Like, it just go do this. No, but it sounds like a one-person job. No, just trust me. Take two. You're going to need help.
And, so they basically try to be the first one to die. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
They each think, like, okay, yeah, obviously I'm going to be the one that dies.
Yeah.
Like, I'll kill myself. It's fine.
Both of them are on the absolute same page. Like, they're just bickering back and forth like an old married couple.
And then all of a sudden they're like, well, wait a second. I don't think we're talking about the same person, are we? And then one of them shoots off to jump off the edge, and then Hawkeye like shoots an arrow and blows something up, and he starts running off, and Black Widow does some other maneuver and grabs him and like attaches him to the wall and like
Batman's him up to this thing.
Yeah, it wasn't emotional at all. So she's dead, and I'm like, okay, fine, she died. I was like, someone's got to die. Like,
we knew it. Like but see,
Yeah.
that's the thing. You already prepare yourself for losing one of them, and let's be
Yeah.
honest. For the Soul Stone, you take both of them.
yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. He did have a family and such. So, I mean, she didn't have anything. Like she
Right.
had, she
Well,
was, she
as,
had.
as Hulk said later, because
Yeah.
they were all upset about it.
Yeah.
Like, we were her family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So after they fuck up getting the Tesseract,
Yeah.
they got to go back again in the past to
Yeah.
1970s.
But they didn't do that until they had lost all hope. Like they were like the whole dialogue between Captain America and Iron Man was very confusing for a second. Like they would both be there,
Yeah.
and then like they're just sort of talking like one note. They are the only ones that know what they're saying.
Yep.
And that was really confusing for me. Like they'll both be there. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay,
yeah.
all right. And then he's like, okay, so don't screw up because they had already lost the
Tesseract.
well, yes, the Tesseract, but they had no more
PIM particles.
Yeah, yes,
To get back.
exactly.
So they were like, well, and when they said they'll both be there, I thought they meant, and they did, they meant two different things almost.
yeah,
They meant that the Tesseract will be there and PIM particles will be there.
Yes.
And they also meant Agent Carter will be there and my dad will be there.
yeah, that's right.
And so Tony Stark's dad is Roger Stark. Howard Stark. Roger Sterling from Mad Men.
Oh, speaking of which, going from watching that and then starting Game of Thrones a couple hours later, and all the Starks in Game of Thrones was very confusing for a second.
Oh, yeah. It's like Stark.
Yeah, like I get it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Howard Stark.
Howard Stark is there, and they're just hoping they don't run into him. I think, but I think they kind of also want to run into him, and
Yeah.
they both do end up running into each other. And so Tony gets like this real nice moment with his dad, who had an unexpected death earlier on in his
Yeah.
life when he was a teenager, and told him how to raise his son
As an
kind
older
of.
man, like as a mentor to his dad, like
Yeah.
he gives him instructions. God, I'm getting goosebumps talking about that, man.
On how to raise himself.
Yeah.
Just, love him as much as you can. And they're like, yeah, I know. I would already do anything for him, and he's not even born.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he, goes to hug him.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, what the fuck's this guy hugging me for? And he goes, thank you
Yeah.
for everything.
And
you've
then-
done for the country.
And then you find out that Jarvis was his dad's real driver.
Yes.
Jarvis, does that man look familiar?
No.
It's a weird beard.
It's a weird beard.
Another magical part about that 1970 scene is that was the last official Stan Lee cameo.
Oh, yeah. That was
That
nice.
got me, man. Like, just I started clapping and then I teared up.
Yep. So
Everybody clapped.
Yep, Stan Lee's there right as they go by the base.
Did everybody clap when they saw him? When you two, or did you hear like a couple of like? Woo!
Yeah, I think I did. And then there was a lot of young kids that I don't think got it.
Oh man,
It was a sparse but kind of full theater. It wasn't a packed theater.
Yeah.
But it's 10:30 in the morning on a Friday, so I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, Stan Lee goes by in a car driving. He's like, screw you, warmongers, or something.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
throws a beer out of his can at the guards or something like that.
yeah.
That was pretty good.
It was great. Also, mentioning that that Tony Stark got a beautiful moment with his dad, we neglected to mention that Thor also got a beautiful moment with his mom. Like he
Yeah.
got to talk to his mom about
Rene Russo and him get to
Yeah.
talk about
something that's bothering him right now. Like, how great would that be? Like, just as something like to go back and talk to the one person who is the wisest person in the world.
Yep, and everyone has confused Thor with all the Back to the Future talk. He
Yeah.
doesn't really understand it, so he's not sure he can talk to his mom. So he gets real upset.
Yeah.
when they talk to each other for a second, he's like, "Oh, we can't talk, can we? But she's like, oh man, I'm like a witch.
You're from the future.
Fine, I get it.
You're not the fool, the wisest person in the world.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. So that was really nice. And then Rocket Raccoon basically.
We gotta go.
He has this device to get the contraption out of Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Who I guess she had a really bad experience filming the Marvel movies. So that was actually old footage of her.
I read an article that she was not going to be part of the...
So it was surprising that you saw her, and I was kind of like, oh, I wonder if that's old footage. And it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess she didn't have a good time. Thor got choked up talking about... I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He's talking about
crying
how they
drunk to his mom.
Yeah, but before that, when they were talking about where they could even get it, he just went on a
song.
Yeah,
she's there.
We used to date. Yeah. I haven't seen her. I don't know. We're not together anymore. He's just like drunk crying. But the whole time, Paul Rudd's watching. He's like, yeah, cool. Everyone else is bored as fuck. And Paul Rudd's sitting there like a little kid, just like, cool, man.
Fucking, this is Thor.
Yeah, Thor's talking about like cool God stuff. This is great. Like,
imagine that, like the dude this is like if Peaches gets to be a fucking superhero, like just after you've been just all in jail and
yes, and then he's just like cool.
He's the best everyman ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cool. I love it.
He's the best. He's the best everyman ever. Yes. So
they're gonna get all the stones now.
Yes,
they got them all, and they have to like decide on the wording or the feeling of this wish, I guess, kind of, and who has to do it.
Yeah.
And Hulk's like, well, I'm the strongest. So
it's gamma.
I'm gonna do it, and it's gamma radiation. And I laughed when he said that. I was like, oh, hey, cool.
Yeah.
Like, you should do it, huh?
Yeah.
So that worked out well. That it was this one specific kind of radiation that made you. All right, cool.
I can't wait for the porn parody of him putting that glove on. You know it's coming, no pun intended.
Yeah. Is there not already been one with the other Infinity movie?
There may have been, but just the way that this thing moved to accommodate his giant fucking fist.
Oh, you know what? I'm not going to search for it. So, yeah, anyway. That's definitely going to happen. So he snaps his fingers, and Thanos has already figured out that this stuff is happening because apparently one of these characters, Nebula, there's Nebula in the past and Nebula in the future, and their brain links over time, I guess.
Yeah.
And so they hear her playing stuff and through her little, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope messages of this plan that they're all working on. And so they capture her, and they get her to open a portal to the place where they just snapped everyone back into existence.
Yeah.
Thanos comes through there, and he just starts wrecking everyone.
Yes.
With a spaceship.
But she also sends... The bad Nebula, the past Nebula, comes in and switches the time in which they would go back to present. Mm-hmm. She switches the time to where it would take them back to 2014.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, she goes in and she fucks with the thing, because they're thinking, okay, we've got it, now we're going to go back to where we were in the present day and do this. But instead, whenever they got back, they thought everything was normal because it was just 2014 before the what was it?
The snap.
Well, no, it was before the. Yeah, I guess the snap, but it was in 2014 before the all the aliens showed up. What was that Dark World?
Oh,
not Dark World.
The Avengers.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The first Avengers, right?
Right. That was like 2012. Age of Ultron was 2013, 14 maybe.
Whichever that one was.
Okay.
They went back there.
Okay.
And the best part about being in 2014 is everybody's still alive in 2014.
Is that?
That's the way I got that, because that's the only way it will be possible to have everybody there.
No. So here's what I believe happened.
Okay. Because I might have not got this all the way.
What happened, I think they all came, and I've only seen it once too, but I thought what happened is that they snapped the fingers in the present day. Everyone's coming back to life in the present day. They're unsnapped, and so they're all rematerializing. And once they do that, Doctor Strange, all this stuff's going on the outside. Doctor Strange does all these little portal things and gets everyone on the same page. Goes all over the world with all the other wizards. Yeah. And as the battle is starting with Thanos in the present day, he brings them all there. They've all come back to life because at the very end, Peter Parker is the same age, but Paul Rudd's daughter is still old.
Okay.
Because he runs into his friend at the high school who also got snapped. And they're like, oh, well, fuck, we're in class again. Great. I don't know.
It's great, and he's in high school, and that's the only person who knows, like, okay, so you survived the battle.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Y'all talking about some tears.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about some tears.
So these people come back. Like, start coming through these wizard portals. Spider-Man comes in, kind of saves Tony from something, kind of saves him or something.
Yeah.
And they start talking because he's
Stark.
like, Mr. Stark,
Mr. Stark.
I woke up and there's a Doctor Strange wizard guy. And he's there and he's just he starts doing those circles, and then and he's like rambling on and on and on, just so excited to see Mr. Stark, and then Tony just pulls him in for a big hug and not a dry eye in the house.
I mean, dude, right now, look at this, right now. I swear to God. Dude, it's just...
someone said in the music score to go along with all this. Yeah. Very emotional music the whole time. Just like really playing. I don't know what it is, like doing the minor and major and going back and forth and doing everything perfect. Everything was great about it.
I really thought so. Like, that part, though, like I just... You can't not like...
And just so everyone's getting reunited, Black Panther comes through the portal with all the Wakandans again.
Dude, I was pretty. I don't know. I was ecstatic at that point, and then whenever all of the female Avengers come in and they're like doing it, like it's like she has help, and it's like
every one of those little moments. I just got like, it was like I got real happy.
Yeah. It's a joy cry. It was a happy cry.
There weren't sad tears except for a little bit later.
Yeah.
The big spoiler.
Yeah.
Incoming next couple of minutes. So, big battle. Captain Marvel decides to come back, and
forgot about her. Didn't you forget about her?
Yeah, of course.
Everybody forgot about her.
Yeah.
And then here she comes, and it's like, something's incoming.
Right. Yeah, and I'm like, if it's all turned to her, I'm like, oh, that must be Captain Marvel. But like, is she bringing something with her? And it's like, oh no, okay, it's just Captain Marvel. And I'm like, well, why weren't you here like the whole time? Like,
what the fuck?
I guess she tried to get here as soon as possible, whatever. And she did.
Yeah.
And she blows up a whole warship that had blown up the Avengers compound.
I guess those warships is what confused me, because those were the same warships from the other movies.
But they were on warships too.
Yeah.
And I think, so I think she reprogrammed it so that they could fly through to the present and then blow everything up. Because they blew up the compound right there.
Yeah.
So, Ant-Man saves some people. He gets all huge. He's punching shit. It's great.
He's like he punched the shit out of this like mechanical dog, like in the face. Like just punches this dog in the face. It was so good.
The Wasp is there.
She came back.
She came back. I mean, everyone comes back, but like really everyone this time. It's not just the normal Avengers. You know, Spider-Man's back, and Gwyneth Paltrow pops up in an Iron Man suit all of a sudden. A blue Iron Man
strange.
Suit.
When you see it and you see her movements, you're like, okay, so you knew exactly who it was.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. Because I was like, was that Gwyneth Paltrow? I was like, it seems like there's a couple of more women than there were.
Yeah.
And it felt a little over the top.
Was there not another woman in another suit, in another Iron Woman suit?
That was the Wasp was in a suit. And
well, I knew the Wasp, but I knew she was. But I felt like there was two. There was Potts and there was somebody else who was in another like suit like that. I knew the Wakandans. And
okay, so let's go. There was this big moment that I felt was a little over the top, but just because like there were already a bunch of women fighting and stuff, and I think that Marvel wanted to make more of a point of, look, guys, we do have a lot of women superheroes. Like, just don't worry about the diversity thing so much. Like, tip of the hat to you. And so Captain Marvel grabs the Infinity Gauntlet. They're trying to get it away from Thanos so he doesn't snap his fingers again.
Yeah. By the way, after all this work, Thanos gets the fucking glove back.
Yeah. Puts it on. And the only person who can stop him that time is Captain Marvel by, like, holding his fingers apart.
Yeah, like, you're not going to do this, damn it.
Yeah. So he's, like, going to snap, and she pulls his hands apart. So he can't snap.
All that's missing is the Benny Hill song because
he was real close.
Yeah.
But so all these women, you had Gwyneth Paltrow as in an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
You had Captain Marvel. You had the Wakanda lady, the Wasp. The Scarlet Witch.
Yes. Oh, she's badass.
Yeah, best Olsen ever.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, she's sisters with the Olsen twins.
No. Yeah. She's the baby sister?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, best Olsen, hands down.
That's Brie Olsen?
Elizabeth Olsen.
Is Brie Olsen also?
Could be. Let's see. Olsen twins sisters. I'll check.
Thank you, Jamie.
Just three of them. Elizabeth Olsen, Ashley, and... Oh, wait. There's a Taylor. There's a Taylor Olsen. That must be the smallest one.
Dude, now that you say that, it makes so much sense. That scene where he's like, I don't know who you are, and she's like, you will.
Yeah.
That's so badass. It's like, what?
Because she almost kills him in the first one.
Yeah, she
blows apart the Mind Stone before he can get it. And then she's like, sorry, bud. Can't do it. She, like, sacrifices her best friend to do it. She blows up the Mind Stone and kills Vision.
Yeah.
And he brings him back to life with the Time Stone and then pulls it out of his head and just pops it in and says, sorry, dum-dum.
Yeah.
Now I got it. And then Thor comes in and almost kills him. And he goes, you should have aimed for the head.
Yep.
Snaps his fingers and wipes out everyone. That's the first movie. So when she comes back, it's like super personal. She was one of the ones who got snapped. She's back. He's there. Although it's a different Thanos, really.
Yeah.
It's not the one who snapped his fingers.
He hadn't done that yet.
He hasn't done it yet.
Yeah.
A couple of years before that happens. 5 years or so before it happens.
They just really skyrocket that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Also, Thor, while he is in Asgard, gets back something which he had lost.
Mjolnir. Yeah.
The hammer.
Yep. He holds out his hand, and the raccoon's like, what the fuck are you doing?
And the mom's like, sometimes it takes a second.
Yeah.
I'm still worthy.
Yeah, Mjolnir comes to his hand. He's got Mjolnir and Stormbreaker in one hand apiece. And that was a really good moment.
Because
later on, they're fighting. At first, it's just Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor are all beating on Thanos before everyone comes back.
Yeah.
But eventually, the Mjolnir gets out of Thor's hands because something gets fucked up. But guess who has no problem picking it up now? Captain America just picks it up like it's nothing because he's worthy.
I knew it. That teared me up a little bit,
yeah,
man.
It did. I was happy because first Avengers movie, I think, they're all teasing who can pick it up. And Captain America grabs it. Everyone else has already tried to grab it. Iron Man and Don Cheadle are rocket boosting it off of the table, and it won't budge an inch. And Captain America kind of grabs it, and his fucking arms are ripped. God, he's so...
And it just twists a little bit, right?
Yeah, it like comes off the table just like a tiny bit, or just moves it. It moves an inch, and Thor looks at him like, "Holy shit!"
No.
Yeah. So he picks it up, and it's like his right arm all of a sudden. He knows exactly what to do with it.
In a point of great humor, Thor ends up giving him the battle axe. I don't know what it's called, but
Stormbreaker. Yeah. He's like, "Nah, I'll take this one."
And he's like, "No, you take the little one.
You take the little one. You take the little one. I'll keep using this one." That was pretty great.
I thought so too.
I mean, there's just so many things that happen. You end up forgetting a couple of them because all the Guardians of the Galaxy come back and they're doing cool, funny, fun stuff. But all right, and then the big spoiler. So after the Girl Squad kind of fails to get the gauntlet away, I don't even really know what their plan was going to be to get it to Hulk again. But they were like, keep it away from Thanos until we can defeat him.
Yeah.
And, whatever. But Doctor Strange sees as Captain Marvel keeps him from snapping his hands together. And Thanos actually pulls out the Power Stone and then uses it to punch her out.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's a pretty cool move.
Didn't think
smart.
of that. But.
So she's gone. And then all of a sudden, it's Tony Stark and Thanos. Thanos doesn't see him coming, but Tony Stark flies over. Iron Man flies over. He grabs all the stones without him looking.
After seeing Doctor
Strange looks at him, he goes, holds up his one finger, like, this is the one out of the 14 million. There's only one way we win this.
And earlier in the movie,
he asks him how.
He's like, if I tell you, it won't happen.
Yeah. So he won't tell him how it happens. And actually, because Hulk mentioned something about this was the only one way, that's the only way he gets the stone away from Tilda Swinton. Because she's like, oh, if Doctor Strange says this is the only way.
He's supposed to be the greatest of us.
Yeah, then he must know. So here you go. That's yours. It's just you just had to drop Doctor Strange's name.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, got it.
Which is funny because she didn't even, like, he wasn't even close to being Doctor Strange yet.
Yeah. Well, he goes, I'm looking for Doctor Strange. And she says, he's about 20 blocks that way doing surgery, I think. Yeah. You're about 5 years too early. And he's like, okay, still, I'm going to need that time stone. Yeah. And so they have a big argument about it. Well, he's in
I love that.
The astral plane.
Out-of-body thing.
Yeah.
So, come on.
Astral projection stuff is cool. That was a good movie. I like Doctor Strange.
I thought that was probably my favorite one that I saw out of those. Like,
love a good redemption story.
Movies, yeah.
Because he was just an unrepentant asshole. And I
feel like Sherlock.
And I feel like he got better.
He was Sherlock in that movie.
I feel like he got better in the Avengers movies, though.
Yeah.
You know, he's like come into his own.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. When he was pouring the beer for Thor, when he was looking for his brother, he's like, you know, you want some tea? He goes, oh, no, I'd like something stronger. And then he's got a fucking huge mug of beer in his hand.
Yeah.
He starts drinking it. He finishes it before Doctor Strange finishes his sentence. And Doctor Strange is like, whatever. He like fills it back up.
Yeah.
Because I need to get me one of these.
But yes.
So Tony Stark gets all these stones, and you don't see him actually get them. He's real sneaky about it. Sleight of hand.
He's the Iron Man. He's got the little tools or whatever. I'm sure it was just he had made a glove that if he touched the other glove that it would just pull all of the, probably like a fail safe.
Yep. And Thanos snaps his finger, and you're like, shit, he snapped his finger. What the fuck? And then You look, and he doesn't have any stones in his glove. And you're like, oh, got it. And Iron Man's got him now. And he snaps his finger, and he says, I am Iron Man. Or does he say that later? I think he says it then when he snaps it.
No, he's like, I am inevitable. He said, I told you.
Yeah.
I told you I am inevitable. And he's like,
you.
No, I am Iron Man. And then he snaps the fingers, and
all the bad guys turn to dust.
Yes. Everything turns to dust. And
but at great cost.
Absolutely. And I mean, he's still there.
Yeah, it just hurt him real bad. And then Peter Parker goes up to him, and he starts... Mr. Stark, you did it. And,
You did it, Mr.
You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine, Mr. Stark.
But then when Gwyneth Paltrow
comes over, she, like, pushes him out of the way. I'm like, yeah, kid, can you move?
She's like,
this is a guy you've met 4 times.
I got legit tears right here just explaining this. Like, fucking serious. When she's like, we're going to be okay.
Yeah. You can rest now.
You can rest now. Like, because she tells him, will you be able to rest? Like, if you don't do this, will you be able to rest?
Yeah.
And the answer is obviously no. He would not have been able to rest had he not done that. So just, you can rest now. And then when you just see his little
Iron Man heart just turns off. And, I did like earlier, though, Ant-Man had to pull out something in his heart earlier.
It doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're just like...
it's just going to be like a little mild heart palpitation.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
that sounds like a pretty big deal.
Yeah. And then what brought him back? Was it a shock from Thor?
No, I think somebody just punched him in the chest.
Was it the Hulk? I think it was Thor.
It might have been Thor. I think
Thor hit him with the lightning, like from his hammer or something, because he was right there. Because Loki was right there.
Yeah,
earlier. So many good.
I knew that would work.
I knew that would work. Yeah. Thor is like always right.
Yeah,
even when he's wrong, and
of course you are.
And he doesn't care about any like.
He's a god. He's the god of thunder. What does he care about? What does he have to care about?
So. Yeah. So Iron Man dies.
Yeah.
And they have a big funeral for him.
But see, the fact is, everybody else is there.
Yeah.
It like Iron Man died and everybody else came back.
Yes. Yep. Everyone's there. There was like one kid. I was like, who is that kid? I couldn't place him.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just hoping that I knew that it wasn't going to happen, but when Nick Fury walked out, I really wanted that to be Stan Lee. Dude, just to be standing there with like a tray of drinks or something, like I really just wanted that to be Stan Lee, and I knew that it wouldn't be. But then after all of that stuff that goes down, then it's Cap's responsibility to...
Captain America's got to take all the stones back to the exact point where they stole them.
Yep.
So that they're there in their timeline and everything else. And then, Hulk's like, okay, it's going to take however long it's going to take, but it's going to take 5 seconds here. And then he does the countdown. He's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're gone. And he's like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, he should be back. They're freaking out. And then they look over at the lake, and guess who's there? It's Captain America. But he's old as fuck.
It's an old man Captain America.
Old man Cap. It's like Matt Damon and Saving Private Ryan.
Yep.
And Black Hawk or Hawk something. That dude goes over and talks to him.
Yeah.
And Iron Man is like, I had a great life. This was cool. Captain America.
Iron Man did too.
Yeah. Sorry.
No.
What he says was, I got one of those lives Iron Man was always telling me about.
Yeah, that's right.
To go get. So he does that.
And he's like, do you want to tell me about her? And he's like,
nah.
No, I don't.
Right.
I don't.
So he went back, got with Agent Carter, and movie fades out with them dancing, but he gives his shield.
I thought that was a beautiful moment in cinematic history when the old white man passes the Captain America shield to a young black man.
Black dude. Yeah.
I really that also like right now I could just that was such a big deal.
Like there was something about like when he came back to life.
Yeah.
He flew by Captain America, said, "On your left," because in their training montage in one of those movies, because I think his leg is amputated or something. And he's rehabbing, and Captain America is training with him, and Captain America always fucking runs past him, and he's just, you can hear him coming, and he goes, "On your left." He goes, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it." And then he passes him, and he tries to catch him, and he can't catch him. I didn't
catch that.
There was a lot of old callbacks.
Yeah.
Jon Favreau's now, I guess, going to raise Tony Stark's little daughter, who is
do you follow him on Instagram? You don't mess with Instagram a lot.
Not too much, no. And I don't follow him.
He posted a picture of a giant cheeseburger. And dude, I just saw it and just like
yeah, Jon Favreau's in the Iron Man movies, he's basically Tony Stark's butler / best friend.
And he directed a lot of them too.
Yeah, I think he directed the first two Iron Men or something. Which Iron Man started off this whole thing.
Yeah.
And
fucking seriously, look at this, man. Jesus.
And this little girl, they're talking about like it's gonna be okay. It's sad that your dad's gone. Can I get you anything? What do you need? You want something to drink? You hungry? And she's like, "I'd like a cheeseburger." And he's like, "I'll get you all the cheeseburgers you could ever want."
He's like, your dad liked cheeseburgers.
Your dad liked cheeseburgers, yeah.
And, fuck, man.
Yeah, because he was always getting Tony Stark cheeseburgers. The first thing Tony Stark got when he came back from Afghanistan, when he made the suit and escaped, was cheeseburgers.
Yep.
So he's no stranger to getting cheeseburgers.
No. Your dad liked cheeseburgers. I'll give you all the cheeseburgers you ever want.
Yeah.
And just, that's so awesome.
Yep.
That somebody, because Jon Favreau is basically like, they were the same person. Him and Tony Stark were like just basically the same person in different bodies.
Yep. So that was nice. You had the Asgardians of the Galaxy go off. And Thor and Chris Pratt going back and forth about who was the real leader of the team.
That was the comedic relief you needed after crying like hysterically for a second because it's so sad.
And everyone on the ship's basically like, it should be Thor because
he's the god of thunder.
The god of thunder. He's the strongest.
Chris Pratt is the son of God.
Oh, yeah, son of a god.
But he is son of God. Like actual God.
That thing is called Ego, the planet.
Yeah.
And he is the son of Ego, which comes up a lot in Thor comic books. I've read most of the Thor comic books through like 2014, from like 1962 to 2013. But anyway, he'll go to this planet and it'll be a living planet and its name is Ego and it does weird shit and Thor has to beat it up. And when it showed up in that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 movie, I was like, oh wait, he's the planet? Is he Ego? He's Ego right now? He's Ego? I was pretty drunk, but I was like, it's Ego!
Yeah. Well,
I had no idea. But I was just like, cool.
I guess you get those. It's like literally reading the book before watching the movie. You kind of figure that shit out.
Yeah.
But comic books are much different.
Yeah, there's so many. And
so much.
Then they entangle all the storylines and shit. So, great movie. Great movie. And more importantly, it felt like every movie in the past 10 years that they did built on how good this movie was in the meantime.
Yes.
They ended everything really well.
I felt like I needed nothing else. I don't think that anything that could have made that movie better.
I don't need to watch another comic book movie.
Yeah.
Really. Like, that was... If you had to watch 25 comic book movies or however many there are, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones you need to watch.
Dude.
Plus Heath Ledger is the Joker in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
That's just a must.
Yeah, you have to see that. But I will say, and I'm getting to the point now in this to where I can know call the difference between DC and Marvel Universe. And Marvel Universe is just,
They killed it.
dude.
And DC just can't get on the right. Like, I think they got a little behind because Batman's kind of its standalone thing.
Marvel just gut punched them
Ooh.
at the box office. Like they just, anytime a new Batman movie comes out, it's gonna kill it.
Yes.
But yeah.
But also, like, the X-Men movies
Yeah.
got better and better. And both the Deadpool movies are just so fucking funny.
Deadpools were great.
And just, like, for comedic stuff, you can't beat Marvel. And now apparently they're better at doing, like, the dark and gritty shit, too.
Yeah, because dude, I don't know, man. This movie, this most recent one, Endgame, has everything that you would want out of a movie. Mm-hmm. It has everything that you would ever want out of any kind of movie, like not just a comic book movie. Like it you laugh, you cry.
Oh, yeah.
You contemplate.
I forgot. Like, also, Hawkeye gets all reunited with his family, and that's super nice.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean,
and his family disappearing at the beginning was like a real powerful moment too.
Yeah,
That's how
it was.
the movie opens, with Hawkeye showing his daughter how to do stuff.
Yep.
And also Black Widow, like we missed out on. There's so much in this movie. We're not gonna be able to
it's
cover
not
it
like
all.
we were trying to do a recap anyway. We're just like
highlights.
nerds that wanted to fucking talk about this.
Yeah.
And not only that, is such the only reason I watched the movie is because I had to know what happened.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to be able to like look at all of these like, oh, spoilers without context. There's a picture of Mac from It's Always Sunny. There's a picture of American ass, and then there's like a baby and a fucking a baby in an astronaut suit.
Oh,
and oh yeah, because when they were trying to figure out time travel before Tony Stark showed up, which was great by the way.
Yeah.
They're inside trying to figure out how to fucking time travel.
Yep.
And they keep turning Paul Rudd into like an old man,
a little baby, a little kid, and then they finally bring him back in the normal thing, and they're like, oh, and he goes, I pissed my pants.
Somebody
pissed my pants.
The best part is it's all him, but he says somebody pissed my pants.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know if it was baby me or old me or regular me.
Or just me.
Me. And then Tony Stark comes pulling up in his fucking...
The Audi is so sick.
And he's like, did you turn him into a baby? Yeah, that's the blank whatever paradox.
Yeah.
That's going to happen if you didn't do this.
Yeah.
I fixed it. And, he throws in the little thing that fixes it, and it's like...
Yeah, really, dude, just fucking come on, man. And then in a beautiful moment, he hands Cap his destroyed shield back. Yeah. After it's not destroyed anymore.
Actually, it gets destroyed in this.
Oh, yes.
Real bad. But then... And we've been going over highlights. I've got plenty of little issues with the movie.
Yeah.
Just little stupid things. Like, really, actually very trivial things.
Yeah.
But where did the broken shield go? So, if he went back into the past, he didn't have, like, a new shield.
Well, he would have just got it before it was busted and just hung on to it.
But then...
It worked for Thor's hammer.
But then he would never have No, because he took Thor's hammer back with him.
He took it back to Asgard.
He took it back to the past with him.
Yeah. So he's probably still got that.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering where this other shield came from. Maybe he got it made. I don't know.
He could have gotten it made, but I really believe that he would have, like...
Because there's still got to be a broken shield, because otherwise he would have taken it away from him, and he wouldn't have it, and then it would... The other timeline.
Yeah. But I think just the fact that he was bouncing all around those different timelines, he could have just grabbed another one.
This will set up a lot of interesting things. I think a fun little thing would be for him to go through those timelines to see what he did to return the stones.
That might be the next movie.
Or just see him in the background doing it or something, like putting stuff. All the little background things. Like
Cap,
the movie was,
what are you doing here?
And he's old. He's old as fuck.
Nothing.
I'm not Cap.
Or like he walks up to the museum or whatever where the suit is. And, Stanley, I'm so fired.
Oh man.
But we did good, man. We trucked right on past the hour. We actually finished the last big spoiler of the movie.
Good deal.
At an hour and a half, and we got
perfect
another good bit of banter after that, dude.
Great movie.
Before we move on.
Yep.
So, first off, fuck Jason Momoa.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's go through that.
I started watching Game of Thrones, guys, and I didn't realize that Jason Momoa started on Game of Thrones. I didn't realize that was his like deal. And then I'm like, oh, this is the sweet girl who is who's got the dragons and Rise of Dragons I've seen in 800 different spoilers on Facebook. But see, here's the thing. I feel very, very kindred spirits between Game of Thrones and Star Wars, because one of the main reasons I didn't watch Star Wars is because I knew that Luke was his son. Like I knew that Vader was that.
See, and this is going to be kind of like what I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Just knowing a general story is going to be fine for you watching this, because it's so good.
Yeah.
Nothing's really going to ruin it. If you knew exactly what happens at the Red Wedding, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Knowing about it in general, which when it happened in the show, before it happened in the show, people were spoiling it from people who had read the book, or trying to spoil it for people who were watching the show. Just like, wait till this thing happens. Yeah. And all these like things happen. And you're like, this number rule. We went over this earlier, guys.
Yeah,
Code of conduct. Don't be a dick. Don't spoil something for someone.
Exactly.
But if you see little memes and everything else, it's more general. Yeah. And I think eventually you're like, oh, I get it. That's pretty funny.
I think in this aspect, like or this day and age, a lot of people are very good about spoilers ahead. Like you don't click here. But dude, just fucking, I know they're married, but he's just like raping this poor girl. Like that's just how all in that culture from wherever he's from in that time is just. It made me so uncomfortable because I thought that's really how it was.
It gets worse.
Yeah, I don't like.
There's a lot of bad stuff like that in this one.
I don't like that, man. I don't like it. And then, by the way, I need to talk to Jamie about this. What about the little 10-year-old boy that's sucking on the woman's tit?
Oh my God.
How did they get away with recording that?
I don't know. But it is one of the most uncomfortable things.
Wow. Like he's sitting, y'all, Game of Thrones episode 4 or 5, season 1, there's just like he has to be 10 years old, 8, 9, 10 years old, making full sentences. I don't think that if words are coming out of your mouth, your mom's tit shouldn't be going in it. Like that's.
What's his name? Robin?
I don't fucking know. I was creeped out. I've literally only seen him in like two or three episodes, and every single time I've seen him, like any shot that his face is in, this woman who's playing his mom's tit is right in the frame,
in his mouth, basically.
And not in the beginning. He's just straight up sucking his mom's tit, and then
okay, what?
Like, it's so fucking weird. This kid had to have been like 10 or 11 years old. He was young. And how do you get by with recording this?
It's prosthetic breasts.
Okay.
Still.
Doesn't really make it much better.
It makes it a bit better that he's not sucking on a normal tit as a 10-year-old. Like a real.
God, that had to be. I guarantee, like, it just, I would almost watch extras of just that scene being filmed. Yes. Just to see, like, her be like, listen, this is awkward for me as it is for you, kid. Like, this don't worry, we're both getting paid. Just fucking get this tit sucking done. Let's get out of here. But that really freaked me out. The every time a man has sex with his wife, he's just straight up, like, throwing her around and raping her. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. Aquaman doesn't do this.
Those are the prosthetics on another person. Pretty good looking.
Yeah.
It's weird, though.
Very weird. I don't like it. I still don't like it. I don't care whether it's prosthetics or not. It's close enough to...
Oh, it's disturbing. But it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I guaranteed. By the way,
It's not a normal thing in that even then, and that's what that whole thing is about. Like, they have a fucked up relationship. It's not sexual, but it's fucked up.
it's like cats. There you go. But yeah, Joe Rogan stopped live streaming his episodes.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
I don't know. Now we just get notifications when his episodes are posted. Like, there's no 3, 2, 1.
Maybe he's
Are we live, Jamie?
Maybe he's in the process of switching over to, what does he usually do it on YouTube?
Yeah.
He might be cutting ties with YouTube or something.
Oh, God, I hope not.
He might be going to Twitch, which is Amazon. You kind of have to
But
pick.
Twitch is like so much less popular than YouTube.
Yeah,
That
but
doesn't
you
make
can
sense.
do it, but still upload your stuff on YouTube later.
Yeah.
You don't have to live stream it. I think they'll demonetize you if you try to do it on both at the same time.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
And
But
and
yeah.
like even I follow a couple of guys who used to do everything on YouTube and they went over to Twitch because I think they have a really good model for paying their streamers better.
Twitch does.
Yeah.
You hear that? YouTube, step up your game, all right?
Yeah. A lot of people just do like hashtag just chatting, and it's usually one of the top 5 trending topics.
Okay.
There'll be like a big video game thing at the top. First 3 will be all video games.
Okay, and that might make a little more sense, though.
But I don't know what's going on with
Yeah,
it. But
and what's funny is the last episode that was streamed live was Adam from Adam Ruins Everything.
oh, yeah.
And it's like, did he really ruin this for us, too? Like, seriously, is this fucking happening? Did he ruin this?
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy. He started on College Humor, I think.
Yeah, that's his big deal. Him, Funny or Die, maybe, too.
Could be. And they did a lot of stuff on College Humor and Funny or Die. I guess they're separate.
Yeah.
But yeah, Funny or Die was Will Ferrell and Adam McKay. They started that company.
Okay. Either way, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah,
So that's that, I think.
that's that. Spoilers all around. Spoilers all around.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for hanging out with
And
us.
hey, as far as you keep going through Game of Thrones, happy to come back and talk about that because I've read everything and watched everything.
Well, we'll 100% be doing that. We'll
It's a pretty good read too.
and not only that, I thought about this. We don't necessarily have to, because I thought about the Harry Potter thing that we still have to do. We still have.
Yeah. I'd like to reread them before.
That's what I was going to say. Is that it would just be unrealistic to think that we're going to read the order before we go over it.
Yeah.
Because that's like 940 something pages of.
And one thing also, I like that there's like J.K. Rowling's put herself in the news. It seems like every month, just with something crazy. And so
Yeah.
there's like 100 articles about it. And I read one real good the other day that's like 25 things you thought were true about Harry Potter but aren't.
Yeah.
And like number 2 was like wizards know how to read, so they can obviously like write essays. And it's like, yeah, so Harry Potter obviously went to school,
Yeah.
but Ron didn't go to school. He just was homeschooled. So do they teach all their kids, like, maybe that's why Ron's so bad at writing essays.
Because he doesn't know how to read.
And Hermione is really good at it, you know? And it's just like,
Huh.
hey, maybe.
So apparently wizards don't know how to read, a lot of them.
Well, they might know how to read, but they don't go to school for it.
Here's the thing. Why would you need to if you had all of those?
But they're always writing essays.
yeah.
Always. And they go reading all these, they're getting these books, they're like this fucking thick. As 11-year-olds.
Turn to page 394.
But, sir, we were just learning about something that's not werewolves.
Yeah.
Werewolves?
But yes, but either way, we still have to do those.
Yeah.
We'll be finishing up the Harry Potters, and we'll definitely be doing some Game of Thrones trickled in between there, because I feel like I am gonna be watching this religiously for a little while, and that's nice. I needed to step away from Kill Tony for a little while because have you ever watched the Kill Tony stuff?
Mm-mm.
It's a podcast, but it's a live podcast. I recorded at the Comedy Store in Hollywood, and or L.A. and same difference, right? So Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redband have comedic guests, like 2 guests come on, like actual established comedians. And then they do like basically open mic. They have like, they draw names out of a bucket and have somebody come up. They give them 60 seconds to perform in front of like Tony Hinchcliffe, Brian Redband, and maybe Ron White or Joe Rogan or like an actual comedian. And then they'll give them critique. They'll like give them like pointers and shit on what to, how to improve their act, or, just basically roast them, because Tony Hinchcliffe is one of the main writers for the roast.
Gotcha.
So
that guy.
He's a roast writer. Yeah. You know him. He's got the gay voice. You can he calls it that. It's like Tony Hinchcliffe's got a bit like the infamous gay voice, because it's just like he enunciates properly. He's from Ohio, and anyway, they the only reason I say that is because it might help you remember who he is. But anyway,
he's not. I see now. He's got Kill Tony bio. I don't recognize his face though.
Yeah,
that's okay.
As soon as you heard him talk, you would recognize it.
Okay,
because he's got a very distinct voice. But anyway, I've been watching that show like nonstop lately. Like I it was the first podcast I ever got into, to where I went back to episode 1 and was like, I have to watch this from the beginning because it's too good not to. And yeah, from episode 1, I'm on episode 60, 63 or 4 now.
Okay,
so I figured like, now I can at least walk away from it for a little bit, because they're they're each an hour and a half. So 63 episodes of an hour and a half long that's a nice chunk. Yeah. Now I'm gonna do Game of Thrones for a little while. But anyway,
Game of Thrones is good. So
I'm gonna let you guys, you audio listeners out there, on Apple iTunes, Spotify, please click subscribe on all of the things. Please go to the Facebook page at MI Stuff Podcast, at MI Stuff Podcast, the number 1 on Twitter, and Facebook and Instagram are both the same. MI Stuff Podcast on Facebook. MIStuffPodcast.com. You can go there, and surprise, surprise, there is going to be a merch store set up very soon, and you will be able to wear MI Stuff T-shirts. You'll be able to wear things with my face on them.
I like it.
Stickers, T-shirts, all sorts of things. It's going to be coming your way in MIStuffPodcast.com. Also, check out my blog there, where I am trying to stay current on the blog as best that I can, but I haven't written in like over a week. So sorry about that.
That happens. You gotta make yourself do it though.
Yeah, you do. But I've just been so lazy and shit. I actually did the most cleaning that I've done around the house today.
Oh, it looks real good in here.
And yeah, no. Yeah, no.
I did that this weekend. I had some people over, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna clean up for 2 hours.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because like I haven't had a guest. I haven't had anybody to come on the podcast or anything. And I did a pot of boiling water and dumped it over the dishes.
Yep. Got to.
Yeah. Did that. So now whenever I'm done editing this, I'll just be washing dishes.
Yeah, I actually had to flush my toilet. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was bad. Mm-hmm. You at least got to flush it. I hit that too. I did hit the commode with a little thing.
You gotta brush it every couple of days.
Yeah, I give it a week. Yeah. I give it a week. I'll let it look like, oh fuck, I'll let it bother me before it gets to the point where I
usually when my dog stops drinking out of it, that's when I know I gotta clean it.
What's funny is now I'm just picturing that picture of your dog, not your dog. Whatever that thing was you sent the other day. All right. Anywho, dude, I'm glad glad you could do it, man. Good shit.
Same here. We'll do it again sooner.
Click subscribe on the YouTube page, guys. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. At Trick Hanna.
Yeah, that's true.
On just Instagram. Are you on Twitter as well?
That's a handle I have on
Trick
Twitter.
Hanna. At Trick.
There you go.
At Trick.
I actually have a website, but I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, don't dox yourself.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, you know what?
Did they find that guy?
Tell you. No, they're not gonna. There's no way.
Yeah.
The best hope I got of getting something out of this is maybe getting video of the shit going down from
and
Miss Lisa.
That'll be good.
So at least I can be able to show my house being surrounded.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing.
Right. I don't know.
Cool.
Oh, well. All right, audio listeners, have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Be a good person. Don't be a shitty person.
And that means don't spoil movies purposefully.
Don't spoil movies purposefully.
Ask people if they've seen something before you start talking about it.
Yes.
And don't be a whiny bitch if someone accidentally spoils something for you.
Yeah, right. Don't be a whiny bitch.
That's the 3 rules. There you go.
If someone is truly sorry, forgive them. If they're not, then punch them in the dick.
Or a whiny male dog. I don't know what you call those things.
Yeah. A whiny Fido.
Oh, Fido. Call him.
Yeah. All right, audio folks. Enjoy your day. Be a good person. Peace, bitches. YouTubers, hang tight for just a second. Let's do this cool thing right here. Let's see how good we are at this.
Okay. I'm going to rub my ears again.
Dude, that was one of the best parts. Let's see. All right. Hey guys, how you living? You doing well? Good. Glad to hear that. In this episode, Brother Patrick Hanna stopped by to talk about Avengers Endgame. So, I say this loudly now. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. There are spoilers ahead. If you have not seen the Avengers Endgame, you are not going to want to listen to the podcast after, I would say, maybe 20 minutes.
That's fair.
So I think that we got 20 minutes of non-spoiler banter about the movie. And
we say so a good minute or two before we go into it.
Yeah, so you guys, by all means, listen until we give a warning before we start spoiling things.
Because Patrick Hanna's interesting as fuck about some Star Wars spoilers at the beginning. It's great.
Yeah. And also, please go to the YouTube page and subscribe to Kelsey Hudgens' channel on YouTube. I'm him. I'm not referring to myself in the third person, but that's just what the channel's called. Please go subscribe to the Kelsey Hudgens channel on YouTube and watch the first little bit. The audio might not be the best in the first little bit, but the content's too good to, I think, remove. So I'm just going to let the audio be a little fuzzy there for the first few minutes and hope that you guys can get past that point. But anyway, yes, in-game spoilers ahead. I want to stress that. If you have not seen this movie and you are into these movies at all, I advise you not to listen to this until after you've seen it. But I think we did a pretty good job of going over it and covering it if you have seen it. So by all means, let us know how we did at mistuffpodcast at gmail. Actually, misnerds at gmail.com.
Miss Nerds.
Miss Nerds.
I like it.
MIS Nerds. It was originally Merle's Inlet Sports Nerds.
All right.
That was what the podcast was called to begin with.
MS Nerds.
MIS Nerds. So yeah. Anyway, yes, please go to Facebook at MI Stuff Podcast, at MI Stuff Podcast, the number 1 on Twitter, and at MI Stuff Podcast on Instagram. MIStuffPodcast.com.
MI Stuff Podcast.
And MI Stuff Podcast. WNBC. And also, I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about our fine sponsors over at Screwball Whiskey. My brother Kerry, who is a member of the Screwball Whiskey team, is getting married on the 2nd. And Kerry, I love you to death. I'm so sorry that I could not be there. I love you to death, and I promise that I will make up for not being there in the way that I know how best. And you will see what that is in the future. I got a surprise for you. So, I love you, buddy. Sorry I can't be there, man. But thank you for sending us over some stuff and donating some dollars to.
That shit is delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can get this at screwballpeanutbutterwhiskey.com.
All right, I'll let everyone know.
Yeah, I'll share links on the YouTube page with that as well. So yeah, it's very, very good, and they ship to South Carolina. Obviously, there's no laws against that. So
get the endorsement of this functional alcoholic.
Heyo. So yeah, there's that. You got and Patrick and Joey are the only two who've tried it yet. So that you guys,
And we have the most discernible palates of anyone I know.
I mean, I know. I would say because you both drink like decent beers, and
Oh, that's true.
I'm not just. I know you're saying that facetiously, but yeah, you're almost right. Anyway, gonna go ahead and let you guys get some content. Without further ado, episode number 129 of MI Stuff Podcast featuring Patrick Hanna. Spoilers ahead. Endgame spoilers ahead. Enjoy, motherfuckers. All right, YouTubers. I love you. I mean it. Be good people. In a world full of shitty people, don't be one of those people. Be a good person. You have a decision to make every single day with every single thing that's laid before you. Make the decision to do the right thing. No matter how tough it is, make the decision to do the right thing, and you will be so glad that you did. Be a good person. Don't spoil things for people who do not want to be spoiled, who do not want the thing to be spoiled for them. You know what I fucking mean.
Simple consent.
That's right. Click the links at the bottom of the page, or top of the page, rather. Click the subscribe link in the middle of the page right now. And let's get up to 1,000. I love you. Be good. Peace, bitches.